begin. Hey, you guys. We'll get started in the usual 5 minutes at 2 o'clock East Coast time. Till then, I'll just say hi to the people coming into the room, as I always do, like Julie, Josh, and Abby, for starters. Luke and Evan from Georgia. I'll try and be quick about it this time. Oops. Henry from Kentucky. Ben in Westfield. There's already 60 of us here. Ian and Erica from Virginia. New Book Monday, that is correct. Who else is here? Oh, well, there's Erica and Braden and Michaela and Peter and Ben. Ralph Hammelbacher is here. Noah and Logan, Molly, Bennett, Jenna from Rochester, Genevieve, Josephine from South Carolina, Jack and Carter in Florida, Maddie too, Liz in New York, Sophie, Evan, Eva, and Alex say hi. Marina and Kayla, hi to all of you. Rosie and Heidi from Colorado, it looks like. Michigan, the Michigan Faith and Freedom Coalition. Nora and Eloise Cooper in Florida. Ben is here, and Dylan and Daniel from Morristown, New Jersey. Natalia from Fresno. Thank you. The Maslowski kids, of course. Thanks for your picture, by the way. Chris, Nick, and Bella. Brooke from Philly. Blake. Cora, Kristen, Maria. Now the names are coming by too fast. We got 135 of us already. We'll get started in 3 minutes at the usual time, 2 o'clock East Coast time. Hope everybody's having a nice day. Hey, while I have you here, got a question. Do you think I should like take a week and instead of reading a regular My Weird School book, maybe read the summer special, Bummer in the Summer? Would that be a good idea? Or should I keep going as I have been going? Let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'll say hi to Aaron and Eden, Joshua and Sophia, Logan in Orlando, Maria, Carter from Los Angeles, Alex in Connecticut, Jonah and Brianna, Tiziana from Italy. The Crazy Coopers are here, Sarah, Kyla, Annie, Callie, Abby is here, excuse me, Mason, and Michigan is here, Aylin, me and my dog, Alyssa, mix it up, okay, Michael and Christina, Skyla, and oh, the Cox kids are here. We'll get started in 2 minutes. Sarah and Abby, Brooke in 2nd grade. Okay, Dolev is here. Sienna, I'm sorry. I thought the I was an L. We got 2 minutes. Grant in Virginia. By the way, if you type your name over and over again, I don't necessarily say it over and over again. Jason, Olivia, Ellie, Theo, Evelyn, Bella, Oliver in Philly, and Molly, Kayla, Dolev, and Noam, and Sheila. So glad all of you are here. Looks like a lovely day out today. I hope it is lovely where you are too. We're going to get started in 1 minute, less than 1 minute actually. And hi Vanya. Claire, how you doing? Gonna have some fun? Okay, I'm ready. You guys ready? Sophia, you ready? Billy Bob, you ready? How about you, Claire from Maryland? Are you ready? Naomi Elliott, are you ready? Okay, I am ready. Okay, I think we're just about ready to go. It's go time, baby. Hi, Dan Gutman here. I am the guy who writes the My Weird School series and lots of other books for kids too. Thanks for coming today. Happy Memorial Day. And today is also Monday. And you know what that means. It means we start a new book today. That's right. But before we do, let's get to our question of the day, which is from Owen and Drew in Massachusetts, who asked, what were you like when you were a student? Actually, a lot of people think I was probably a lot like AJ, but the truth is, no, I was a good student. I liked school. And yes, there was a girl in my class named Andrea Young who got straight A's all the time. I didn't get straight A's, but I was a good student. I liked to learn. And I was always a little bit jealous of Andrea. And I guess that's why she found her way into my books. Okay, so that's our question of the day. Let's get started with our new book, which is titled, dun, da, da, Mr. Nick is a Lunatic. And you might have noticed I actually kind of alternate Mr., Mrs., Ms., Miss in the book titles. So like every 4 books, you're likely to see a Mr. or a Mrs. or a Ms. or a Mrs. Whatever. Okay, so let's start with the back cover. Let's read it with me, okay, you guys? The teachers of elementary school are on strike. AJ and the gang are getting a new principal, Mr. Nick, and he doesn't believe in rules. Mr. Nick says the students don't even have to learn if they don't want to. What could possibly go wrong? All right, I think we're going to find out. Okay, so this book has 10 chapters, as the last 2 books have had 10 chapters. So we'll read 2 a day. We'll finish the book on Friday, as we always do. You guys ready? Gather around your big screen TV, your laptop, your tablet, your smartphone, whatever it is. Let's go. With chapter 1, which is titled, The End of the World. Okay, here we go. My name is AJ, and I hate it when an asteroid crashes into the Earth and wipes out all life on our planet. Don't you hate when that happens? And here's, start off with a picture, Jim's picture of an asteroid wiping out the dinosaurs, looks like. Okay. Our science teacher, Mr. Docker, told us that an asteroid crashed into Earth 1,100,000 years ago and wiped out the dinosaurs. Ever since then, I've been worried that an asteroid is going to crash into Earth and wipe us out. But then, Mr. Docker is off his rocker. Speaking of weird grown-ups, I was putting my backpack into my cubby at school the other day when our teacher, Mr. Cooper, came flying into the room. And I do mean flying. Mr. Cooper thinks he's a superhero. But he's not a very good one because he tripped over an umbrella and fell on the garbage can. Are you okay? We all shouted. I'm fine, he said, picking the garbage off his pants. But then something even weirder happened. Mr. Cooper grabbed his coat and went flying out of the room. And here's a picture of Mr. Cooper running out of the room with the garbage can overturned. He's in a big rush. Gotta run, he shouted. Have a nice day. What? Aren't we going to pledge the allegiance? Asked my friend Michael, who never ties his shoes. Will we have a substitute teacher today? Asked Ryan, who will eat anything, even stuff that isn't food. No time to talk, shouted Mr. Cooper. And then he was gone. That was weird, said Neil, who we call the nude kid even though he wears clothes. What's weird about it? Asked Andrea Young, this annoying girl with curly brown hair. Superheroes always appear and disappear for no reason. Mr. Cooper is probably in a hurry to prevent an asteroid from wiping out all life on Earth, I told everybody. That's what superheroes do. I'm scared, said Emily, who's scared of everything. What should we do now? Asked Alexia, this girl who rides a skateboard all the time. We have no teacher. No teacher? I looked at Michael. Michael looked at Ryan. Ryan looked at Neil. Neil looked at me. Then all 4 of us snapped into action. We got up and shook our butts at the class. Boys, said Andrea, rolling her eyes. We thought that was the end of it, but you'll never believe who came running through the door at that moment. Nobody. You can't run through a door. Doors are made of wood. But you'll never believe who ran through the doorway. It was 2 girls from the other 3rd grade classes. Is your teacher gone? One of the girls asked. Yes, we all replied. Our teacher is gone too, the first girl said. Our teacher is gone too, the second girl said. Our teacher is gone too, kids were shouting in the hallway. In case you were wondering, everybody was shouting that their teacher was gone. And here's a picture of Andrea out in the hallway talking with other girls who said their teacher is gone. All the teachers are gone, shouted Andrea. Where would they be going first thing in the morning? They must know something we don't know, guessed Alexia. The asteroid is on its way, I shouted. The world is about to end, Ryan shouted. Run for your lives, shouted Neil. We've got to do something, shouted Emily. And then she went running out of the room. Sheesh, get a grip. That girl will fall for anything. All right, that's chapter 1. You guys ready for chapter 2? The standoff. All right, here we go. Before we could go running for our lives, I went to the window to see if an asteroid was heading for the Earth. What I saw outside was even weirder. There was a long line of teachers out there. They were marching up and down the sidewalk. I called everybody over, and we leaned out the window to get a better look. Mr. Cooper was on the sidewalk. So were our librarian, Mrs. Rupee, our art teacher, Ms. Hannah, our gym teacher, Miss Small. All our teachers were outside marching back and forth. Even our principal, Mr. Klutz, was out there. He was holding a big sign that said, "On strike." And here's Jim's picture of all the teachers outside marching in front of the school on the sidewalk. The teachers are on strike, said Andrea, as if we couldn't read the sign. Mr. Klutz, why are you on strike? I hollered out the window. Are you demanding higher pay? No, yelled Mr. Klutz. Are you asking for more vacation time? Asked Andrea. No, yelled Mrs. Rupee. Shorter hours? Asked Ryan. No, yelled Ms. Hannah. Then why are you on strike? Asked Michael. We want coffee, yelled Mr. Klutz. Coffee? Maybe I didn't hear that right. What did you say? I hollered. We want coffee, repeated Mr. Klutz. We want coffee. We want coffee. We want coffee, chanted all the teachers on the sidewalk. I noticed that some of the teachers were holding up signs. Our music teacher, Mr. Loring, had a sign that said, I'm a Mino without my cappuccino. Our computer teacher, Mrs. Yonkers, had a sign that read, Heck no, I need a cup of joe. Our Spanish teacher, Miss Holly, had a sign that read, I won't teach the Bambinos without a Frappuccino. Here's a picture of the teachers on the street with holding their signs. Two, 4, 6, 8. What do we appreciate? The teacher started chanting. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Man, grown-ups sure love their coffee. They go a little crazy if they don't have it every morning. That must be the first rule of being a grown-up. I don't get it. I tried coffee once. It was yucky. Don't they have a coffee machine in the teacher's lounge? Asked Neil, the nude kid. That's right. The teacher's lounge is a magical room that has hot tubs, a bowling alley, a helicopter pad, and free back massages. I heard that some first grader snuck in there one time, and he never came out. Nobody knows what happened to him. "Don't you have a coffee machine in the teacher's lounge?" Andrea hollered out the window. "It's broken," shouted the school secretary, Mrs. Patty. "I'll bet Mr. Harrison can fix it," hollered Alexia. Mr. Harrison is the tech guy at our school. His job is to fix the computers, printers, and copy machines when they break down. He can fix anything. "I tried to fix it," shouted Mr. Harrison. "The left flange dingle is on the fritz, and the mini thermal circuit logic board is full of corrosion." I had no idea what he was talking about. "We need a new coffee machine," Mr. Klutz shouted, "but the Board of Education won't get us one, so we're on strike." "I'm Board of Education," I said. "You always say that, Arlo," said Andrea, rolling her eyes. She calls me by my real name because she knows I don't like it. "I always say it because it's always true," I told Andrea. Outside, the teachers were chanting louder. "What do we want? Coffee. When do we want it? Now." That's when the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. A tank came rolling down the street. That's right, a tank. It was one of those army tanks they have in war movies. "Wow," we all said, which is Mom upside down. The tank stopped in the middle of the street, right in front of the teachers. The top of the tank opened up, and you'll never believe in 1,100,000 years whose head popped out. It was Dr. Carbles, the president of the Board of Education. And here's Jim's picture of Dr. Carbles popping his head out of the tank. Okay. "Where do you think Dr. Carbles got a tank?" Ryan asked. "From Rent-A-Tank," I told him. "You can rent anything." Dr. Carbles had a bullhorn in his hand. "Attention, elementary school teachers," he shouted. "Put down those signs and return to school. I have called in the police and the fire department." "Will you buy us a new coffee machine?" hollered Mr. Klutz. "No," shouted Dr. Carbles. "Go back to work." "No brewing, nothing doing," shouted Mr. Klutz. "No brewing, nothing doing," chanted the teachers. "No brewing, nothing doing." "If you teachers don't return to work right now," shouted Dr. Carbles, "I will be forced to use, force." "He's bluffing," said Michael. "Dr. Carbles would never attack our teachers." The tank started to inch forward. The teachers took a step backward. It was exciting. And that's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Mr. Klutz went over and stood right in front of the tank. He put his hand in the air. The tank stopped. And here's a picture of Mr. Klutz putting his hand in front of the tank. The grown-ups will know what this is referring to. Okay. "Move out of the way, Klutz," shouted Dr. Carbles. "I am warning you, I will crush your rebellion." "No," Mr. Klutz shouted back. "I'm not moving until you buy us a new coffee machine for the teacher's lounge." "Mr. Klutz is so brave," Andrea said. "When I grow up, I want to be just like him." "He's my hero," said Emily, who always agrees with everything Andrea says. At that moment, we heard sirens coming down the street. A bunch of police cars and fire trucks pulled up and screeched to a halt. "I'll give you one last chance, Klutz," shouted Dr. Carbles. "Go back to school now, or else." "Not until we get a new coffee machine," Mr. Klutz shouted back. "Okay, you asked for it, Klutz," shouted Dr. Carbles. Turn on the water hoses, men. Release the dogs. Well, that's the end of chapter 2. We're going to start on chapter 3 tomorrow, which is titled Our New Principal. Okay. Well, but before we go, how about our joke of the day? All right? Our joke of the day is from a few people, actually. Chester in North Carolina had this joke, and so did Nathan in Iowa. It's an old joke, but it's a good one. Okay, here it is. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. Get it? All right. Okay. You guys, get off the couch. Stop staring at the screen. Tell some jokes. You know it's time. It's time for Josh Salzman and Ryan Cunningham. You know what time it is. Help me out here.
My weird school, I'm AJ and my school's a mess. My weird school, before a school it's fine I guess. My weird school, where odd is cool, and the teachers are strange as a rule. Where Mrs. Youngers is bonkers, and Mrs. Daisy is crazy, Mrs. Cooney is loony, and Miss Lady is zany, and then there's her principal, his name's Mr. Klutz, and man oh man is that man nuts. My weird school, a million hundred hours long. My weird school, where normal things do not belong. My weird school, where odd is cool, and the teachers are strange as a rule. And my weird school, my weird school, oh yeah, it's my weird school.
Okay, you guys. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Read like crazy. Wash your hands like crazy, too. Bye.